when he first heard the rumor, he kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago. He was an FBI informant to try to take this stuff down. The president knows and has great sympathy for the women who've suffered these unspeakable harms.
Yes, you heard it right. Apparently, Mike Johnson has decided to pitch us the latest blockbuster spy thriller. Except instead of hitting Netflix, it's playing live in the halls of Congress. According to his grand revelation, Donald Trump wasn't just a businessman, a TV personality, or a president. Oh no, he was actually an undercover FBI agent sent on a mission to lure Jeffrey Epstein into some grand trap. Let that sink in. We're supposed to believe that the man who couldn't stop bragging about his golf scores was secretly living out a James Bond fantasy, complete with wiretaps, trench coats, and classified dossiers. Forget reality. This is the kind of plot twist even Hollywood would reject for being too unbelievable. And of course, while they're spinning this fantasy, notice what doesn't happen. No release of the Epstein files. Every day, the public asks, where are the names? Where are the documents? And every day, the answer is another circus act. They won't give us the truth. So instead we get wild bedtime stories about Trump as secret agent. Tomorrow it'll probably be that he was a double agent working with Elvis and Bigfoot. But sure, keep lying, keep dodging, keep running from the files. Because the more desperate the stories get, the clearer it is that the truth is a lot scarier than their fairy tales.
MAGA Mike Johnson, Donald Trump, a Russian oligarch, and Jeffrey Epstein. You see, MAGA Mike Johnson, in his desperation to try to cover up Donald Trump's very dark past, may have inadvertently incriminated Donald Trump regarding a real estate transaction with a Russian oligarch from 2004. And this ties in with our exclusive reporting here on the Midas Touch Network with Michael Wolff, Jeffrey Epstein's almost biographer. He has about 100 hours of tape of Jeffrey Epstein. And Michael Wolff, as you know, was Donald Trump's former biographer. He wrote multiple books about Donald Trump. Now, Michael Wolff told us on the Midas Touch Network, you may remember the video, that Jeffrey Epstein suspected that after Donald Trump basically stole a real estate deal that Epstein was asking Donald Trump just for a little advice on, and Epstein then threatened to sue Donald Trump, and Epstein may have said that he would expose Donald Trump's relationship with a Russian oligarch. Only then did Donald Trump inform prosecutors or potentially the police about Epstein's relationship with underage girls, because Donald Trump would hang out with Epstein all the time and knew what Epstein would do, because Donald Trump would hang out with him when a lot of that conduct was taking place. Donald Trump being a confidential informant based on his relationship with Epstein was something that Epstein suspected. Donald Trump's not the good guy in the story who helped expose Epstein out of the goodness of his heart. What Epstein thought went down, and I'm going to show you what Michael Wolff said and how this relates to what MAGA Mike Johnson said, was that because Donald Trump's involvement around Epstein, Trump knew what was taking place, and to try to save himself, threw Epstein under the bus before Epstein could incriminate Donald Trump based on this real estate transaction with a Russian oligarch that was very, very shady.
Hello great people, guys. I am in the darkness and it seems like the street lights are not working, and I have to do this video because this video is so much important. And this video is about Mike Johnson. Mike Johnson is the House Speaker, and he has accused Donald Trump in so many grounds. And I think we have to do this video. There's a video going online where Mike Johnson claimed that Donald Trump is actually an FBI informant, because the internet is on fire right now. Social media is buzzing and people are demanding answers from Donald J. Trump. Could this be true, or is it just another political storm meant to shake up Trump and make him weak? Guys, what do you think? Please talk to me in the comment section. And of course, if you're watching this video for the first time, or you are here for the first time and love our videos, please talk to us in the comment section and subscribe, like, and share these videos to as many more as possible. And guys, may God bless you. Now, before I dive deep into this video, what I want us to do, I want us to watch these videos. There are clips that I've just sampled from TikTok. People are reacting to this claim by Mike Johnson about Trump that he is an FBI informant. So I want us to watch those clips. Let's dive straight, watch, then come back and discuss.
We have some news right now. Speaker Mike Johnson is now claiming that Donald Trump was an FBI informant that helped the FBI take down Jeffrey Epstein. Yes, I'm serious. Meanwhile, Donald Trump is saying that the Justice Department has done its job and that it's time to end this essentially Epstein charade. Mike Johnson said that today at the United States Capitol, then Donald Trump followed up. All while there are still over 100,000 pages of Epstein files in the Justice Department's possession that have not been released publicly. And if Donald Trump was this FBI informant who saved the day, then he should want the files released, right? I'm laying down because I can't move my back. But this news is still very important because the Epstein survivors deserve the truth. They deserve answers. And right now, well, the Trump administration isn't giving them any. And while Donald Trump and Mike Johnson want to move on from this Epstein stuff, I'm not going to let him. I'm going to continue asking the tough questions, so be sure to subscribe to support my work at the link in my bio to my Substack, spread the word, and follow along, stay up to date on all the news you need to know about. There'll be much more to come soon.
How's everybody feeling this morning after learning that President Trump was an informant for the FBI regarding Jeffrey Epstein? Yesterday, while talking to reporters, Speaker of the House Mike Johnson said that President Trump had been an FBI informant regarding Jeffrey Epstein since 2006. I'm sure there's still going to be arguments from Democrats and kickback from the left about this. They absolutely refuse to believe that this president has any good in him at all. Even though victims have said he was innocent, the lawyers have said he was innocent, Epstein's brother said he was innocent, they're not having it. Speaker Johnson also clarified what Trump was calling the hoax regarding the Epstein case. President Trump was not referring to the entire Jeffrey Epstein case as a hoax. The part he is calling the hoax is the list and the fact that they are trying to tie President Trump to Epstein in nefarious ways. What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments below. You all have a wonderful weekend. God bless you.
I'm sorry, what? Speaker of the House Mike Johnson just said that Donald Trump doesn't think that what Epstein did to these girls is a hoax. He would never do that because Donald Trump was an FBI informant tasked with taking Jeffrey Epstein down. Watch this.
I'm not saying that what Epstein did is a hoax. It's a terrible, unspeakable evil. He believes that himself. When he first heard the rumor, he kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago. He was an FBI informant to try to take this stuff down. The president knows and has great sympathy for the women who have suffered these unspeakable harms. It's detestable to him. He and I have spoken about this as recently as 24 hours ago.
This information is going to rock the world and people are going to demand more details after this statement. Yes, it could explain why the two had a close relationship, but first and foremost, is anyone even going to believe it? Or is this just another way to distract from getting the information that the public and the victims deserve? As always, I want to hear what you think about all of this down below.
Mike Johnson may have just slipped up and let something out of the bag, and that is that the president was apparently an FBI informant informing on you-know-who.
He was that himself. When he first heard the rumor, he kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago. He was an FBI informant to try to take this stuff down.
So CNN's Manu Raju was interviewing or speaking to Mike Johnson in the halls of Congress and was asking about Donald Trump calling this whole thing a hoax. And Johnson's response was, no, you're misconstruing him. He's not saying that it never happened. He's saying that blaming him is a hoax because he wasn't involved in it and he actually reported you-know-who about this. Chris Geidner, who's a lawyer over at Law Dork, actually made a really interesting connection from a New York Times article back in July. Because in the New York Times article, it talks a little bit about the alleged dispute over a piece of real estate property, and then it also talks about how Trump, allegedly kicked you-know-who out of Mar-a-Lago because of the fact that he had, stolen one of his employees. But the story didn't really connect the dots in any other way. And now, if it turns out that what Speaker Johnson is saying is true, and again, big grain of salt with that one, it seems possible that Trump reported him to the FBI for revenge. But one of the bigger questions that this poses is, how did Trump turn him in and cooperate with the FBI, if he didn't know what he was up to.
I'm sorry, what? Speaker of the House Mike Johnson just said that Donald Trump doesn't think that what Epstein did to these girls is a hoax. He would never do that because Donald Trump was an FBI informant tasked with taking Jeffrey Epstein down. Watch this.
I'm not saying that what Epstein did is a hoax. It's a terrible, unspeakable evil. He believes that himself. When he first heard the rumor, he kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago. He was an FBI informant to try to take this stuff down. The president knows and has great sympathy for the women who have suffered these unspeakable harms. It's detestable to him. He and I have spoken about this as recently as 24 hours ago.
This information is going to rock the world, and people are going to demand more details after this statement. Yes, it could explain why the two had a close relationship, but first and foremost, is anyone even going to believe it? Or is this just another way to distract from getting the information that the public and the victims deserve? As always, I want to hear what you think about all of this down below.
This whole Epstein saga is just getting so out of control. So the other day, the victims were on the steps of Congress, and they had a great effect with members of the House, especially like Marjorie Taylor Greene and others who said, yeah, we want these files released, we want the names released, and whatnot. Meanwhile, Trump is threatening Republicans who cooperate and demand that the names be released. He's threatening them. Why would you threaten people if your name's not on it or you're not involved? And suddenly now Mike Johnson has come out and said that Trump was an FBI informant against Jeffrey Epstein. I mean, are you kidding me? And he said it like, he just threw it out when he was in the middle of a statement, and he was like, and he was an FBI informant actually for this. An FBI informant against Jeffrey Epstein. Right, but then what about Trump said that the whole thing was a hoax? Oh, and now he's going to say, since he was an FBI informant, he had to pretend. Like, this is insane. They are so desperate now. They're tripping over their own lies. It's unreal. Please release those names. The victims the other day said that if the Department of Justice doesn't do it, then they're going to release their own list. And Thomas Massey and Marjorie Taylor Greene both said they will go on the floor and read the names. So we got to hold them to it, because the lies and the insane just tripping over themselves with even more lies is ridiculous. FBI informant my ass.
Y'all, I know Mike Johnson did not get his ass on the news and do an interview. Well, I guess I shouldn't say the news. Reporters were speaking to him, and he actually had the audacity to sit up here and say Donald Trump was an FBI informant, and he was the one who was trying to help the FBI get Epstein, and he had, nothing to do this because he was over being an informant for the FBI. And Nancy Mace said something similar yesterday as well. After she left crying about the survivors because she was so sad, yesterday she got herself in front of reporters and said the same thing, that he had nothing to do with this and he was an FBI informant. Y'all just will come up with anything you can just to make the lie stick. Okay? But guess what? We still want to see the Epstein files. Release the files.
Mike Johnson reportedly said Trump is an FBI informant. This contradicts Trump's image as a fighter against the deep state and FBI corruption. It raises questions about whether Trump has been working with the FBI behind the scenes. Trump is the president of the United States. Trump reporters feels betrayed, some calling him a snake or double agent. And critics are mocking MAGA followers, saying they were played all along. Johnson's statements could split the Republican Party a bit further, because MAGA headlines may turn against the GOP establishment, and Democrats are seizing the moment, calling this the ultimate hypocrisy. And the politicians have been accused of being informants or cooperating with the federal agencies in the past. If it's true, this will be one of the biggest political scandals in the US history. Because Trump may deny it and call Johnson a liar, or he could spin it by saying he worked with the FBI for the good of America. His administration will be shaken because of this information, because this is a very, very serious information towards the president of a big country like the United States. If Trump was an informant, what kind of information did he provide to the FBI? Was he protecting himself from prosecution? So maybe he was there for the good reason, or maybe he wanted to protect himself from being arrested by that regime. Or is this just a setup by Mike Johnson to weaken Trump's influence in the American politics? The claim fuels mistrust in the United States institutions. Social media outrage shows how divided Americans are. This could be a game changer in the election narrative. So, my great people, what do you think about this video in the comment section? And of course, if you love this video and feel like you want to be part of this conversation, please subscribe to our channel, watch our videos, and I hope you're doing all well. And thank you so much for watching this. I'm African, and I love you so much, good people. And I'm so much grateful to have you as my follower. Let's meet again in my next video, guys.